Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Man, these games are getting too intense for us. It's heartbeat is cracking, the blood pressure is rising. We will be reviewing the game between Bangalore and Mumbai. Another cracker, another super over. Of course, I have with me the host, the main man, Musti. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, man? You're the main man. How's everything?
All good, all good. I think these kind of games are not good for our hearts, though. I mean, the energy, the blood pressure, the way it goes. I mean, just imagine for us, me personally, not neutral to both these teams. Even then, like my adrenaline was on another level. Just imagine supporters and just imagine the players over there as well, right? It's just absolutely insane what goes around over there. It's quite crazy. What are your thoughts on the game?
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. 90 runs in 30 balls. 90 runs in 30 balls. I'm like, yeah, man, this is done, right? And even then, I'm like, yeah, he's going to get a wicket in this ball. This is going to happen. But Ishan Kishan, man, him and like Pollard, we know his hitting ability. But Ishan Kishan, he was fighting for his place. He was dropped. He came in because Tiwari was injured.
Yeah.
The way he played, it just shocked me completely. And these games are just amazing. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
And yesterday and then today again, I feel again RCB's weakness was exposed, like you've been talking about the whole time. Death bowling is an issue, but 90 of 30 should never have gone to the super over, in my opinion. Never. Some parries from the boundary rope going over the boundary rope, those catches dropped, and some incredible hitting, and like I never thought it would go on super over.
It's crazy. I mean, this has been an issue. They've tried out different things today. They got in Udana, who I've been talking about for some time now. Who was? I mean, I guess it's the first game. He's just getting into it. There was a lot of due credit to Mumbai. They stuck around and then they were able to get those huge runs in the end. But yeah, like you said, some parries, Pawan Negi, easy catch for Pollard. I think that was a sitter.
He caught everything before that, so
and he was good too. Like and that was just went through his hands. It's quite surprising. I mean, that one. I think that was a very important moment. I mean, if he got it then, I think that game was over.
Yeah.
Because it was in Zampa's over, and then Zampa got beat after that for another couple of sixes. Chahal was a little bit poor in his last over as well. Very, very impressed with Navdeep Saini though. I think that 19th over and the super over, I think both those overs were very, very good in those kind of conditions under so much pressure, compared to Bumrah on the other side, who was a little bit poor today. He's not been his best since the IPL has started, of course, but I mean, you never ride off a champion like that. But I think overall, a lot of hitting, some relatively ordinary bowling on both sides got to that point, but it wasn't even Sharjah. So
that's what I was surprised about.
Yeah.
Like I kept telling myself that this is not Sharjah. It's not gonna happen. There's no way they're gonna hit they're gonna hit that much. This is not Sharjah. Even Gavaskar said that on commentary, and Kevin Peters since you never know. But even Gavaskar said this is not Sharjah. It's like a slower pitch, bigger boundary. But the hitting ability of these two lads today was just incredible. Someone told me, one of my friends, he messaged me saying that it's going to go super over, when it was 4 overs remaining. I'm like, there's no chance I'll buy you dinner. There's no chance. And it happened. I couldn't believe it. I was so confident that, RCB would win it. Just like you said, the conditions, the bowlers on display, and just the pitch in general. I didn't feel that they're going to hit 90 and 30.
Yep, I think that's quite something. I mean, the IPL always brings up a surprise. Just when you feel like you've seen it all, something new comes across. So it's always fun to watch that.
I think, sorry to cut you, but you were talking about the lineup, the changes they made. I think that helped RCB a lot. Yes, I know Zampa got hit. I know Udana got hit as well. But I think they do look better. They do look like a better side. And especially in the batting order, you saw Padikkal, Finch, De Villiers. Yes, Kohli is not in form. That's a bit worrying. But I think these, especially Padikkal, the way he played today, very impressive. He just didn't go hit it out like the first game. He played second fiddle to Finch, and then he didn't. When Virat Kohli was struggling, he didn't get perturbed or anything. He continued his innings, rotated the strike, and then he started hitting. So I was very impressed with his innings. So some good signs, especially in the batting lineup.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. I mean, ABD being an ABD champion, you expect that from him. Finch was going all guns blazing in the beginning. which is nice for them to see. He is injured. I'm hoping it's not a long-term one because he didn't come onto the field in the second innings. So I believe he's picked up a little bit of a niggle. So we'll have to see how that goes, because that could really disrupt their team again suddenly, just when something was starting to fix. And if he's like a little bit of a long-term injury, God
Do you think
forbid.
it could be because of the keeping?
Keeping.
Oh,
what?
you're talking about Finch.
Finchy. Yeah.
Because even AB didn't come to the man of the match. Apparently he also had a knock. Sorry, you're talking about
So
Finch. Yeah.
no, I was talking Finchy because he didn't come into the second
Yeah,
innings
yeah,
at all,
yeah.
and Nagy was his.
That's why
the
Nagy was. Yeah. So, like, I mean, two possible injuries.
Yeah, so we don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But that, just when this was starting to settle down for Bangalore, at least in terms of the batting, right, it's not just completely dependent on Virat and ABD, because you've seen Padikkal continue his impressive run. You've seen Finchy kind of really break the shackles today after a couple of okay games for him.
And he was aggressive. He played really well. Like, it wasn't like
absolutely.
It wasn't a rusty kind of 50. It was like
exactly
proper.
And what was very, very important for me, I think, for in terms of Bangalore's perspective, was Shivam Dube's innings.
Yeah,
Shivam Dube comes in, scores 27 of 10. That really gives him that kind of confidence to just, because you've been expecting this is the kind of finishing that you want from Shivam Dube, and he's been faltering for more than a season now. I expected all of last season, he really didn't do much. This would give him a lot of confidence going into some of the other games. So that's your top five pretty much sorted. I mean, Virat is struggling, but Finch, Padikkal, ABD, Virat, and with Shivam Dube. That's your top five. That's sorted. You don't have to worry about anything over there.
That's a fantastic point.
That really helps this Bangalore side going into the rest of the tournament, because your batting top five is sorted. Yes, you have the likes of Sundar and all of them coming in after that, but these are your top five, and they are solid and set up. Like, see, Chennai is struggling with having the openers problem. SRH is struggling with some of the middle order guys, but at least these guys, they have that set up. So that's something nice to see. The likes of Udana and Zampa coming in. Yes, they were hit a little bit today, but I think they'll improve and they'll evolve, especially on pitches that are not Sharjah. I think this will help them a lot. So I think the first game nerves is gone. I think if this is a kind of team that can continue to do well, but they just need to stick it out. They need to not chop and change too much now, and just go with that kind of flow and see how it goes. Maybe bring in Morris for Udana if need be, but I think Bangalore have made the right kind of changes. Yes, they got beat today again, but like the power of Pollard and Kishan was incredible. So you just have to give them credit where it's due. But Bangalore can take some heart from this. I just feel like there is a possibility for them to see what it's something that's slowly working, and see how that goes.
Definitely, and at the end they got the point. So I think that will help them a lot. I just had a question for you, regarding this. There's no Umesh Yadav today, okay?
Yeah.
Why are they conceding so many runs in the death overs over the last 2-3 years? I don't understand. It's not that bad, the bowling lineup. It's not like, it's making it look like it's, the last 5 overs suddenly, and they're bowling well, 15 overs.
Yeah.
And then it's like, a school team comes on and starts bowling. I don't know what it is, but maybe you can explain better.
I honestly, even I don't know. It's probably a mentality now that the whole world is talking about the RCB finishing off games in the bowling department has been an issue. I was hugely impressed by Navdeep Saini. I think he did very, very well.
That's what I'm saying. They bowled really well. Even Chahal bowled a few good overs in the beginning. They bowled well. Washington Sundar was good.
Yeah, Washington Sundar was amazing. 4 overs for 12 runs, and then you score 16 overs. You score 180 odd runs.
That's what I don't understand.
189 in 12 overs if you in 16 overs if you actually think about it like that. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I think it's a mentality thing now. I think it's just become like that. And I mean, today the likes of Pollard and Kishan were incredible. I think that's the positive for Mumbai. Their bowling also somewhat ordinary. Pattinson a little bit expensive towards the end. He started off okay, but a little bit expensive towards the end. Bumrah had an off day. Rahul Chahar was impressive, I think. Especially because he got the big fish also.
Yeah.
But I think overall a tad bit expensive, but I think some good moments in there for Chahar. But yeah, overall I think Mumbai would be I mean, of course they lost the game at the end of the day as well, but I think lesser positives for Mumbai than for Bangalore. I think Bangalore will come out of this game much happier along with the points as well. I mean,
because also Mumbai are a better team on paper and everything. They're defending champions, so they'll be disheartened with their overall performance, but they'll take a lot of heart from the two Kishan and Pollard. They'll take a lot of heart from that. But one thing I didn't understand about Bumrah is not understand. I think that late injury he had late last year. I mean that injury he had late last year.
Yeah.
That's really caused either he's not in full rhythm or he's doubting himself. His decision making is a bit off because super over. If you notice, he bowled that pretty well, but then he bowled that short ball which without a fine leg. I mean, either he's not trusting himself because the next ball he bowled a bang Yorker, and if you bowl I know it's not easy to bowl every ball, but at least if you get it around there, it's very difficult to hit, even if it's a low full toss. So either it's his decision making and also maybe a combination of his injury which happened late last year. But there's something off about him because when he bowls, he's become inconsistent, which we didn't know about, which we didn't we didn't see
come
that
to expect from him.
Yeah.
I think there's something going on. Maybe it's just that I honestly thought that this 4-5 months gap would have helped him out a lot. But but Bumrah is really a rhythm bowler. I think once he gets into that groove, I think he never really gets out of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of time. He's a champion bowler. He's going to come around very quickly.
For example, you could see his he's special. Even in the last game, he bowled amazing, but then he gave 4 sixes. Today again, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before he turns this around. I think he's there and thereabout. I think it's just a matter of time. But Mumbai will be a little bit disappointed with this loss, considering they made a valiant effort to get till there. I mean, and Ishan Kishan, poor guy, he was in tears. One, of course, he missed his century by a run, and then, of course, most importantly, I think he wasn't able to get the team over the line and got out at pretty much around the wrong time. I'd like to
but
say.
A big mistake not sending him in the super over. Big mistake.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on over there. I don't know if he was maybe tired, maybe he was sore.
But listen, this guy plays 50 over games. He plays Ranji Trophy and everything. They've scored big hundreds. One over won't make a big difference, to be honest. I understand. I'm not judging anybody. I understand you have to be fit and everything, but they are fit. He's done it before. I'm sure.
No, for sure. There's got to be some thinking behind it, and
a short leg side boundary, mind you.
Yeah, correct. It just didn't make sense. I don't know what happened, but I mean, either way. Mumbai somewhat more disappointed, but your player of the match?
It goes against what I normally say. I said the guy who wins you the game should get it, but I have to give it to Ishan Kishan.
Yeah.
Incredible innings. One of our friends, our boy Uzair, was saying watch out for him, and it happened before his innings, and it was just incredible. When he just gets going, it's next level.
He is. He's definitely one of those players. Again, similar. If he can bring in that consistency to his game, I think there's a good chance that this guy can be a mainstay in this Mumbai team and maybe pushing for that Indian spot as well.
Some really good wicket-keeping options for India.
Yeah, suddenly now Sanju Samson and Rishabh Pant better pull up his socks. He has some. I mean, KL Rahul can keep. We have Samson. Suddenly we're going to have 4 or 5 keepers in our team. Watch.
And they might all play. You never know.
That's the thing. So it's going to be interesting. But interesting talent. Every game we are seeing 1 or 2 new players that are really shining, which is always nice to see for Indian cricket, of course. But I have to go with the winning team, and a very probably unpopular one, but I'd give it to Navdeep Saini.
It's not unpopular. I think that's. I
think the way he bowled that 19th over and the way he bowled that super over, I think even though he didn't really get the wickets that you expect off of him, I mean, of course, he got that wicket 1 wicket in the super over, but he didn't get the wicket in the 19th. Or did he get Ishan Kishan? No, he did not.
No, that
was in the last over. Yeah. So that's the thing. So even though he didn't get that wickets in those 2 overs, but I think he was just so good, and it's so nice to see a young fast bowler really stepping up his game on a day where his senior partner in Bumrah has struggled to kind of just show that kind of resilience and that kind of composure, maturity to kind of bowl those important overs for Bangalore, and in a team that has been terrible death bowling wise. So I just liked his performance today, so I just give it to him.
Yeah, and that will give them a lot of hope as well. A lot of confidence, because that's what they were missing. And if he can do that, it'll help them a lot.
He has to be, if he can continue that consistency. And they're going to have to think about not having these 4 overs get beat for 70, 80.
There's some issue with that, man. I don't know what it is, but they need to fix that, because you criticize, they don't have bowling this and that, but like we said, they bowled really well the first.
They did
15 overs. Yeah.
And Sundar was good as well. I think Sundar's bowling and Duve's batting is something that they would be very happy from as a positive in this game. And I think they just stick around with Zampa and Udana. I think that gives them that extra little bit of depth in their bowling
Yeah.
they need. And because their batting, like I said, it's just great right now. So
but they were losing these kind of games last year, so these 2 points will give them a lot of
courage. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I think that wraps up today's game. Moving on to the big game tomorrow, the Delhi Capitals versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. First versus last. It's some as of right now. Sunrisers haven't gotten off the blocks yet, still at 0 points. A lot of issues in that team. Delhi, on the other hand, looking very set in their 11. So it's going to be an interesting battle. I mean, Sunrisers it could quickly run away from them, so they have to like really pull up their socks and see what they need to do.
If they lose tomorrow, that wooden spoon is coming closer. And it's still very early days, but like a team like Sunrisers, they generally start off well, so they wouldn't want to lose 3 games. I think it'll be very difficult for them to come back, a team like that.
Because Delhi winning this will make them 6 points. So then you're already 3 games behind a team.
Yeah, everyone else has 1 game. So
at least 1 game. Yeah, exactly. So the likes of Bangalore has 4 points. I think only Chennai is at 2, and then Punjab is again at 2. I think everyone else is kind of hitting that 4-point mark now. So Kolkata is at 2 also. So it's 4 teams at 4 and 4 teams at 3 teams at 2 and Sunrisers at 0. So there's a lot of thinking for Sunrisers. We've been mentioning about that middle order really not performing. What are your thoughts? What do you think they'll do differently tomorrow?
So if you just ask me on paper, I think this might be a very one-sided game for on paper, right?
Yeah.
Because I just see Delhi's bowling. I think it's high quality. I think their batting is quality.
Yeah.
But Sunrisers is a team with stars. So don't count them out. I feel that like if the big players have a big game, Sunrisers can win this. You need Warner to step up. You need Besto to step up. You need Rashid Khan to step up. You need Bhuvi to step up. Right? I know that we don't have the greatest backup, but if these guys step up, the other guys, even if they contribute here and there, Sunrisers can win this game.
Right.
But that's a big if, okay? Because the one thing which it's not just Delhi's batting lineup doesn't of course it's very scary, but it's the bowling as well.
Yeah, and Ash is coming back. I'm told.
Yeah, and Norche is bowling him and Rabada are looking like Magra and like Brett Lee, man. So that's what's scaring me a bit more. But at the same time, you have batsmen who can counter that. Bairstow and Warner,
of course,
like the ball coming onto the bat, right? So I mean, it's in Abu Dhabi. Slow pitch, a bigger ground. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but this is it. For me, these guys have to. I understand that there can be a lot of combinations. Bring Abdul Samadin. I really want to see him play. Priyam Garg, but for me, it's very simple. You need your star players to. If they perform, they can win. Because yes, there's been a lot of talk about the middle order, but you have to understand in the past 3-4 years, the middle order hasn't been that great anyway. So. Yeah, I think for me it's those stars. Otherwise, it looks like a Delhi Capitals have the edge.
It's like you said. I mean, there's no denying the fact that this Delhi team is a very sorted team. They've been past couple of games. I mean, the first game and they played only 2 games, right? They've played only 2 games. Yeah, they've played 2. So they look like a sorted side. You're definitely right about that. They have Ash coming back. I believe I'm told he's almost ready. I think he might feature tomorrow as well. So that adds that extra flavor to that team, which is already looking good. I mean, their bowling attack was good. So this is going to be an uphill task for Hyderabad. But I agree with you. The stars need to perform. I don't know how, but they need to bring Kane in this team, especially in an Abu Dhabi pitch. They have to bring in Kane in this team. There's a lot of thinking that they need to do, but there are people in that think tank. Trevor Bayliss is a kind of guy that has won you championships, so he knows how to win. So they just need to get that mentality out there. They just need to be like, you know what, what's gone is gone. This is our team. This is our best 11. Stick with them and expect them to perform.
Also, I think it'll take time to settle, because it's not just the coach. Also, the players are not used to him, right? Correct. So I think to get on the same wavelength, it'll take some time, because Moody and them had a crazy relationship. He's been coaching them for so long. So I think that there's a much better understanding. This will take time. So
and the likes of Lakshman, I think, play an important role, because he's been there with this team for a while. And it's, of course, I mean, it's easier said than done. They have a tough job, these guys. But and all the teams are looking good. But there's this glaring issue. They have to fix it quickly. You just can't go with Vridhiman Saha and Priyam Garg at 4 and 5. It just doesn't make sense, especially when it's a T20 game, if it's a 50-over game, that's a perfect 4 and 5 for you. But this is not a T20. This is not a 50-over game, right?
Yeah,
So
that's why they need to push Nabi up the order and play Abdul Samad as well, or play Abdul
absolutely, I
Samad up
think
the order and just and see how it goes. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? You can't at least try it out. If it doesn't work, because this is the weakness. Unfortunately, every team has weaknesses. Sunrisers had weaknesses before as well, but they still made the playoffs.
right.
So you also need a bit of luck, and you need your players, big stars, to perform. Like,
Absolutely.
this issue was there last year as well, but
Right.
Warner and Bairstow were going hammers and tongs. So
Yeah.
like the year before, Williamson was going hammers and tongs. So like it depends on them as well. Like, you have to look at your strengths, and you need to work your strengths. Your strength has been your bowling and your top order. If they're both not clicking, then you can't really expect much from your middle order. But I completely agree with you. That is the problem. But I'm just saying, what can you do, right? These are the options you have. Try something different. Like you said, like get Abdul Samad in, try something. If it doesn't work out, you can't do much about it.
It's
you
not working out right now anyway, right?
So it's not working. Yeah. If it doesn't work out, but you have to rely on your strengths. And I think the bowling, that's what I'm a bit more worried about, because I know I understand. I know that the weakness is in the middle order. Like as a like watching the game, I know that that's the thing. But the bowling should not be a weakness, and it is becoming a weakness. So I was actually surprised that they didn't like put up a better fight when defending that 140 against KKR. Like
correct. Absolutely. I think the bowling has been a little bit lackluster for sure. The likes of Bhuvi has not stepped up. Rashid Khan, who had a decent game, he got that wicket also, but he's not getting support from the other end, and that makes it very hard for him. So that's an issue.
Also, he's getting hit for a boundary here and there. So like. But if people do attack him like that, then he might get wickets.
But no one really is attacking him. They're making that, and every now and again, yes, there's a boundary ball that he does give away. But I mean, you can't expect completely. I mean, it's not his fault. If he gets some more pressure from the other end, he's definitely going to make the most.
That's also true. Then you have to take more risks from him. So
and you need to give him some score to defend. I mean, if you give him 160, there's a more chance. Like there's more possibilities that he has that little bit more to do. And that. Players need to take a chance against him. If they don't have to defend that 200 target, then they don't take a chance against him, and that's when he gets beat. But I mean, yes, the bowling is poor, the middle order is poor, the batting, the top three have not continued. So there's a lot that's not really working for Sunrisers. Just need to.
That's the problem. That's the problem. A lot. Yeah, that's
I
the
agree.
issue.
So we'll see. I mean, you never know. But this is the IPL. A lot of crazy things have happened over the past 2-3 days. So you never know. Sunrisers brings in a 10-wicket victory. You never know.
I have a feeling that they'll win, but I will not be even 1 minute surprised if they lose. But I have a feeling because they have world-class players, right? So like.
That's our Hyderabadi roots talking. Not a lot more than that.
But before you wrap it up, just one question for you.
Yes.
Win the toss, bat or bowl? Because if we bat first and Saha comes in the middle, think about that, and we bowl first, and you're chasing 180, and then Saha comes in the middle. So you have to.
I was a little bit unfair on Saha. He's a good guy. I think Saha's best position is top of the order. You play him along with Warner, and you bring in Kane if you want to play him, but don't bring him in the middle. I don't think it makes sense.
I guess it also depends who he bats with. If he's batting with Warner or like you said, or Bairstow, then it's fine. But he's batting with like Manish Pandey or Priyam Garg, then there is going to be a problem.
It becomes a problem. Exactly. So something to think about for them over there. Ideally, this would be a good toss to lose, so that way you don't have to, just lose the toss. Whatever you're being told to do, you go ahead and do that to the best of your ability. So that's all I can think of right now. But it's an Abu Dhabi pitch, and batting first has worked out. So maybe continue to do that and not get out for 140. If you're 140 for 3, please just don't do that. Get 140 all out makes sense.
For that you need your top guns to fire. So and Williamson playing.
I've been talking about this from before the series, so I want him to play. I just completely understand him not playing, but I really want to see if he can. Honestly, bring out Nabi, just go top heavy. Kane, Bairstow, Williamson. Kane, Bairstow, and Warner. Just have the 3 on top, and then.
But that weakens your bowling. That's the only issue.
That's a big issue. If Shankar is coming back, maybe that's an option for them to think about, because they have Pandey at 4, Shankar at 5, and then you have like good bowlers.
Then Abhishek Sharma and Shankar will have to take the load of the fifth.
Of 4 overs, then and 2 each is not that bad, because considering the other 4 are bowling okay, and Bhuvi, Khalil, and Natarajan cannot go for a lot of runs. Rash might not, but there's so much to talk about. We never finish this podcast. So we keep going. So, and this is not a very good situation for us. So let's Delhi with the edge. I think on that note, I think we will conclude this pod. Delhi definitely with the edge, but don't write this team of ours out at all.
Watch out for Rabada tomorrow.
Yeah, your player to watch is Rabada.
Yeah, watch out.
And in the Sunrisers?
Saha.
Okay.
I mean, like a Warner and Bairstow.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Ash if he plays for me, and Kane if he plays for me. So those are my two people.
If they play.
Yeah. If they play.
Fair enough.
So I think with that we wrap it up. Looking forward to the game tomorrow for sure. I always want to see them in the Orange Army, but we'll catch up after the game.
For sure. Thank you. I think we're going to have a laugh either way tomorrow. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Take care.